It's just my take on the matter. LeBron James is the greatest stat stuffer in the history of the NBA. Lonzo Ball got the gift, but he doesn't have the glow. You heard it here first. Bill Belichick sabotaged the Super Bowl. Michael Jordan is the standard by which basketball excellence is measured. Period. That's just my take. What's yours? Hey, thanks for stopping by. Please hit the notification button, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. I'm going to get your take. Let's talk sports.
Yo, welcome back to My Take. This is me, Michael John Purnell. This is my live sports rant. And as you saw in the title, I want to talk about the butterfly effect. Remember the movie with, I believe it was Ashton Kutcher, and the movie The Butterfly Effect? Well, what does that got to do with LeBron James? As you know, in everyone's life, one decision that you make will have multiple ripples of effects of a series of events that will play itself out and ultimately lead you to where you are at right now. The one thing I learned about life is that you are in place, you are in your life right now as a result of the way you think and the decisions you make, be that it good or bad or indifference. You are in life exactly where you're supposed to be according to the way you think and the decisions you make. And everyone, I heard a guy by the name of Bill Britt, of Britt Worldwide, one of the most successful private entrepreneurs ever. He said, everyone lives at the level at which they speak and think. And if you replay your life, you will be able to go, man, I made this decision that caused this to happen, that caused that to happen, and now I'm here, wherever here is for you. What does that have to do with LeBron James? Well, nobody is above that, whether it be just us making decisions about our life, to go to college, to not go to college, to marry or not marry, to have a child or not have a child. No one escapes this. Just because you're playing your life out on the screen playing basketball, you have to make decisions. And those decisions will ultimately have you exactly where you are supposed to be according to how you think and the decisions you make. And so LeBron James, in my opinion, the butterfly effect of his decisions that he's made, in my opinion, has cost him probably at least 3-4 championships. You say, why? Well, how is that possible? Well, let's look at the decisions that he's made in his career that has led to the exact moment that he is at right now. Well, LeBron James was 8 years in when he decided that he would take his talents to South Beach. And we all remember the big hoopla ESPN special, The Decision. Well, he decided at that moment that he would go down and join forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. And then his mindset was, well, and personally, I don't think it had anything like some narratives would like to say that it has everything to do with the fact that he couldn't beat the Boston Celtics. But I don't believe that, personally, that he could not beat the Boston Celtics. He still had holes in his game. His jump shot wasn't as good as we see it to be right now. His post game wasn't as good. And he wasn't as clutch. And still, with all of that being said, that man still scored 45 points in a Game 7 the first year Boston got together. He scored 45 points. And so, had his game been a little more crisp, a little more well-rounded, he would have beat Boston. He would have beat Boston because they was getting old, they were getting tired, and he was in his physical peak prime, but he never really reached his skill prime in terms of the skill that he was playing with. It was just all athleticism and physicality. But I believe this, had he stayed in Cleveland, he would have eventually broke through and won. But here's what happened. He made the decision to go to Miami. And I believe he made the decisions for all the wrong reasons. As you saw a clip, they had a pep rally with 3 people. And when the last time you've seen somebody have a pep rally, a team have a pep rally with just 3 people? So the mindset that he had in going to Miami was that we're going to stack our deck. 3 of the top 10 players in the league at that time being Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. And we're just going to go win, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. He believed in his mind because I have this great talent in Dwayne Wade, who already won an NBA championship and was a Finals MVP. And Chris Bosh was leading Toronto Raptors to playoff appearances in his first several years. In fact, the year before Chris Bosh joined the Miami Heat, he averaged 24 points a game and 10 rebounds. And so the mindset was, we're just going to go dominate. That's what would make you have a pep rally with just 3 guys. Before you'll have any supporting cast. Just us 3, we're going to do that. But what he found out was, you cannot stack your deck and just go win championships. Now, they did go to 4 straight finals. But they did that mostly with just the talent they had on the roster that was really so much better than all of the other teams in the Eastern Conference. And of course, Derrick Rose got hurt, multiple seasons as they was trying to make their run. But they did go to 4 straight, but by their own expectation, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, they underachieved. They only got 2 championships out of that. So that was the first decision that he made. And then, Pat Riley has proven to be a very good president, GM and president. Why would you leave Pat Riley? Why would you leave Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh? Why would you leave those guys? Why wouldn't you give Pat Riley an opportunity to bring in some good pieces? Because you ain't going to stack your team with stars, but you're going to have to bring in good pieces, which he had already done. He brought in Ray Allen. It proved beneficial to LeBron James. Obviously, Ray Allen hit that shot. He brought in Shane Battier, which proved to be beneficial to LeBron. He brought in some very good players. Why wouldn't you have given him the opportunity to do that? But no. LeBron James looked at Dwayne Wade and was like, you know what? You really can't help me no more. And he bolted out the back door again. And then he come up with this whole, I'm coming home, propaganda of why he was leaving Miami. You don't have to explain to us why you're leaving Miami. I'm leaving Miami and going home. Why you got to write a letter? And so the reason he did that was he was leaving Dwayne Wade for, look at that nice little piece. Kyrie Irving's over there. I like that over there. And yeah, okay, we're all cool with that. You got the younger, dynamic young player in Kyrie Irving's. That makes sense. If you're going to go back home where something's there. Kyrie Irving was there. He, in his own letter, he said Tristan Thompson, Waiters was there. But he did not mention something that's very important. Who didn't he mention? He didn't mention Andrew Wiggins in the letter. Here's another decision that has led LeBron James to the point where he is right now. And again, they did get a championship to Cleveland. All right? They did get a championship to Cleveland. But why are we really talking about this? Is it about LeBron James having 1, 2, 3 championships? What is LeBron James' obsession? What is his objection in his career? To be considered better than Michael Jordan. And LeBron James knows this. He knows unless he accumulates 5, 6, bare minimum 5, or 6 or more championships, he will never catch Michael Jordan. And so yes, he got a championship there in Cleveland, but he has costed himself championships how? Well, when he went back to Cleveland, he did not want the young Andrew Wiggins. He wanted Kevin Love instead. Now, man, look at the position you put the Cleveland Cavaliers in. Damn, if LeBron wants to come back to your team, how do you say no to if LeBron wants to come back? I mean, there's multiple reasons to saying yes to LeBron James. Even when you have a young, very good piece. No, and let's say this. Anytime you draft a player, whether it be 1, 2, 3, a top 10, you don't really know what that person's going to do. There's very few, surefire Hall of Fame talents that you see it from day one. There's very few of those guys, so you don't really know what it's going to be, but you can kind of sense that this guy, with the right environment and the right development, he's going to be a very good player. Andrew Wiggins was that guy, but LeBron did not want him. He wanted Kevin Love. But here's the problem right now with the fact that he wanted Kevin Love and not Andrew Wiggins. How is it that you beat Golden State? For me personally, the number one way that you have to be able to beat Golden State is defensively. And the reason I say defensively is because Golden State has 3 of probably the top 15, or at the very least the top 15 shooters in the history of pro basketball. So if you're going to beat them, you need to have what they have. Long, versatile defenders that can switch at every position. When Kevin Love is on the floor, he cannot switch onto Steph Curry. He cannot switch onto Kevin Durant. He cannot switch onto Klay Thompson. So from a defensive standpoint, he is at the Cleveland Cavaliers when Kevin Love is on the floor is at a huge detriment. You can't have but so many of those guys on the floor. Even if you have one big in Tristan Thompson, you can't have both Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love on the floor at the same time. So the decision to get rid of Andrew Wiggins in favor of Kevin Love is coming back to bite him in the butt cheeks. Because I guarantee you right now, he would much rather have a young, athletic Andrew Wiggins that can not only spot him and shoot, but also can put the ball on the floor. Now, from a defensive standpoint, how much better, and a scoring standpoint, how much better would Cleveland be if they have both Jeff Green and Andrew Wiggins and Larry Nance? That would be a very, very good, at every position you can switch and make it difficult for the Warriors. And so the butterfly effect is happening this. Here is the grand effect of the LeBron James decisions. And why I say he's cost himself 3-4 championships. As a result of his initial decision to go to Miami, and then his second decision to go to Cleveland with Kyrie Irving, then bring over Kevin Love, that made it acceptable for then Kevin Durant to go, I'm going to go Golden State. Because I don't believe that Kevin Durant looked at Golden State and said, you know, I cannot beat them. That's impossible for him to believe that. It's impossible for him to sit there and go, I cannot beat them. He was up 3-1. So yes, you could beat them. But I think he was looking past beating Golden State and going, if I beat Golden State, I still got to face a three-headed monster in LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love. With me and just Russell Westbrook. If I'm looking at LeBron, and this is what KD is saying, if I'm looking at LeBron, I'm going, man, you know, this guy has the opportunity every 2 years, because he only signs 2-year deals, 3 years with a 2-year opt-out. He can do that because he makes so much money off the court, so it don't really bother him. But what he has to do is every 2 years, he can look at any roster and go, that, I like what they got there. Bang, let me go there. You know what? Let me bring 2 or 3 guys I want to bring over there. So Kevin Durant, in my opinion, wasn't necessarily looking at, I can't beat Golden State. He was up 3-1 against them. I think he was looking past Golden State and looking into the East at LeBron and saying, you know what? When I get past Golden State, I still got to go up against you and 2 other All-Stars. So you know what I'm going to do? Because you know what? I really don't like playing with Russell Westbrook anyway. So let me get on out of here. Let's just team up. I'm going to team up with Golden State and we just going to win championships until you retire. And so because of LeBron James' decision, has actually, in my opinion, created this monster in Golden State that he cannot get past. And he will not be able to get past this monster with Kevin Durant on that team. That is the effect. That is the great butterfly effect of the decisions that LeBron James has made. It is culminated with Kevin Durant saying, well, I'm just going to Golden State and I'm going to one-up you and stack my deck just a little higher than yours. And if LeBron James, now, and to be honest with you, he's now in a position now, if he really wants to win more titles and reach that 5-6 mark, because 4 ain't going to do it, I would respect 4 more if he stayed in Cleveland, drafted that top 10 pick that they're going to get this year, and raise that young guy up and win one with that. I would respect 4 with Cleveland more than I would respect any championship he wins if he left and say went to Houston or went anywhere to stack his deck again. I would not respect it. I'm just telling you now. I won't respect it. I would respect it more if he did that. Because I'm just sick of the whole NBA today and the mentality of these guys today. Everybody want to stack their deck. Nobody wants to compete it against each other. They just don't. Everybody wants to chase Michael Jordan without doing what Michael Jordan did. He took his lumps. We respect that. We respect that. That's why there's so much admiration for Michael Jordan. Because anybody who watched basketball then saw this man getting his behind whooped. We saw it. And so when we're looking at that, we're going, man. And then for him to overcome, to become, that's what we admire. But LeBron James and Kevin Durant, They didn't want to do that. You know, I respect CP3. And unfortunately for CP3, he hasn't been able to get to a finals to compete. But that man's played his heart out. That's what we saw this year from CP3 in that Western Conference Finals before he got hurt. That was a champion. CP3 played like a champion. It's like the same as like when I was watching Patrick Ewing and he was battling against the Bulls and the Indiana Pacers and the Houston Rockets and the Miami Heat. He didn't win one, but that man was a champion. The guts and heart and glory that he was playing, that's a champion right there. That's why those guys are so respected. Yes, sometimes it's not in the cards for you to win a championship. We all understand that. We go get that. But that does not mean that you're not a champion. That does not mean that you're not one of the greatest players. That doesn't mean that you're not a warrior. In fact, they called Patrick Ewing the warrior. He was a warrior. He battled. And that's what these guys don't want to do today. But I believe that LeBron James has cost himself 3-4 championships because Boston was going to go out. And to be honest with you, if it was just the Golden State Warriors with their initial three, and it was LeBron James with even Wade and Bosh, he would beat them more times than not. It'd be back and forth. If he was in Cleveland, it was just him and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, or even if it was Andrew Wiggins. I believe that those would be great series and he would win some, they would win some. But right now, he has no chance of beating this team as a result of Kevin Durant's presence. So we are in life exactly as a direct result of the way we think and the decisions we make. And so, in my opinion, LeBron James has cost himself 3 to 4 championships. That's my take. What's yours? Leave your comments. I want to know what you think.